And then again, here it is, and you play.
The top comment area describes how the animation works. It's based on interactive movement. Below it, there is how the damage works with the bird, where it works through detecting collision box through a custom event. For the interactive movement, there's 2 points which have been set, which are then placed into an array, which is then set as the 2 movement points where it ping-pongs between the 2. This is in the wolf. In the wolf, it has the player HUD startup and attached a viewport. For the wolf to find the actual player, it does a calculation to find out if it's positive or negative, which is then used to find out which movement direction it needs to go in, and then it rotates the sprite. The wolf deals the same damage in the same way that a bird does. This is for the main menu. On the top area for clicked button 247, it has a button called play, which then replays the level. On the bottom one, it executes a command to quit the game. For the player HUD, this is used to display the coin count. This is what the player main menu looks like, and it is also linked to the HUD as well. The top left box is being slightly edited for the jump to change the animation based on the state machine. The left middle is a slightly edited version of the base with a state machine added just for the jump animation. The bottom left has had no changes done to it for the 2D starter sprite. For the bottom right area, similar to how the 2D starter content worked, however, it's got a custom event called It Is Dead located within it, which detects if it's got less than a certain amount of health. And on startup, there's no main menu, so there's been remove mouse cursor and allow gameplay. The top component checks if the player's health is less than 0. If it's true, then it is the custom event, which was said before. This then removes, plays a death sound, removes all stuff from viewport, destroys actor, pretty much resetting the game and adding a new HUD to the viewport. The damage player custom event deals 0.2 out of the 1 for the progress bar, and it makes a sound when this damage has been dealt. For increased coin amount, it pretty much increments the coin count, which starts at 0. The detects collision with rope object when it isn't climbing, its movement is set to walking. If it is climbing, it's set to flying, and it allows this movement up in the Z-axis. When the left click is clicked, then a bullet will spawn from the gun based on the arrow, which is set to the character. This is used to add the health to the player's viewport. This is for the bullet. If the bullet is touching the player, or if the bullet isn't touching the player and is touching an enemy, it destroys it. Then it does a delay, so it allows it to clip through the enemy. The top left describes how the bullets work on collisions. The bottom part destroys enemies. The top left detects if it's touching the player. This is for the bullet. On overlap, it adds money and then destroys the actor. On startup, the platforms are ignored for collisions. When there's a collision, when it goes over the collision box on top of the branch, it sets the branch's collision to block, and when it leaves the collision area, it's set to ignore. This is used to create the rope ladder. First, it gets the amount of sprites that's needed. It sets the first sprite. It sets all the other sprites besides the first and the final one. It then sets the final sprite and then creates a collision box based on the values. This detects if the player is climbing a rope or not. This is used for the vertical rope. This works similar to the ladder. This is the code for the death screen. If the player gets into the win zone, it removes widgets. It disables movement. and it creates a main menu which allows you to leave the game.